Congressman, welcome back to the program. Secretary Hegseth been in the news a lot this year from sharing those sensitive military plans on the WhatsApp app to these now questions about whether he issued a kill everybody order. I'm curious at this point, do you still have confidence in Secretary Hegseth's leadership?
I do, and particularly when you're talking about these strikes against narco terrorists, when you do the math and look at how many Americans we're losing to drug overdoses every year, it's about 100,000. It's about 219 a day. And look at the greatest challenge the United States ever faced, which is World War II. We're losing about 290, mostly men, a day. I mean, that's like asymmetrical warfare being waged on the United States with these narco terrorists. So I fully support it's acting as a pretty great deterrent to say, listen, if you're going to smuggle drugs into our country and kill this many Americans, you're going to face consequences.
But at the end of the day, the U.S. military for decades has not killed people who are wounded or people who aren't fighting anymore. Was this a step too far?
Well, think about this. When you're talking about terrorists, they're not military soldiers of an enemy, like the Osama bin Laden. They were there to kill Osama bin Laden. The goal wasn't to capture him. The goal, so if he held his hands up, you're going to die for what you did in killing almost 3,000 Americans. There are consequences for actions. And when you have a drone strike, for instance, when you're going you've identified that there's a terrorist, the aim is to kill him. So if the first missile or drone doesn't get him and he throws his hands up, you're still going to get him. And there are unique circumstances. And again, just alluding back to World War II when they had the Panzerfaust, what the Germans were doing towards the end of the war was they'd use a Panzerfaust, which was a one-shot weapon. So they'd use it, they'd kill an American tank, and then they'd throw their hands up. So we started shooting them. I mean, then that stopped. And then you know what happened? They ended up surrendering before they used the Panzerfaust. So there are unique circumstances where that is actually called for.
But Osama bin Laden was wanted for 9/11. I mean, we weren't clear, to my knowledge, who was actually on these boats.
Oh no, they know that these are narco terrorists, and the narco terrorists know what's on those boats. They are chocked to the gills with cocaine, mostly cocaine, but cocaine, methamphetamine, etc. And those are, again, killing 100,000 Americans a year. So there's consequences for the choices that you make.
Secretary Hegseth has reportedly defended his action as a, quote, fog of war, but we're not at war. So I'm curious how that sits with you.
Well, to be honest, let's talk about what we're discussing now is a media report using anonymous sources and secondary hearsay. So it's I'm not going to comment on that as that is facts to begin with. So we got to look at the premise. We're really hypothetically talking about if this situation did occur as is.
Do you believe it occurred as is?
I don't know. I don't know. No one's briefed me on exactly what happened in the strikes. But I can tell you, one of my colleagues who was a special forces veteran was saying just kind of what I alluded to earlier, which is when you go into attack and kill terrorists, and that's your orders, if one of them slips out, you're there to kill them. This isn't a battle amongst our uniformed soldiers, which is very different.
And I guess the question is whether these people are terrorists or not, as defined, the way we have for the past 25 years or so.
Well, I would say this: let's go back to the Obama administration when they were using drone strikes to kill who they deemed terrorists. What they used was the inherent right of self-defense. A nation has an inherent right to self-defense. They used that as a justification. They also used the laws of armed conflict, where you have a military necessity. And then you also have a clear distinction between a combatant and a civilian. And we did those same things here. So the precedent has been set years ago by Barack Obama.
I guess the question is this a clear combatant? I mean, they weren't firing at the U.S. military. I mean, how do we know this was a clear combatant? Is what
this
the
is
gray
a clear
area
combatant
is.
Because they had toxic poisons that they bring into America, into every city in America. I would say, and there's an argument to me that that's even worse than having a gun and trying to kill American overseas or domestically.
Based on the questions that are out there right now, would you support an independent investigation into this?
I think that we can handle that, with a congressional oversight. I sit on the Intel Committee. I sit on the Armed Services Committee as well. And we'll see what happens. I don't think that there's a need for that. I do trust the United States military to investigate what happened, and the administration as well.
Right now, are there any committee meetings scheduled to look into this with Intel or Armed Services?
I don't think I can answer that question, if you know what I mean. I'm just not at liberty to answer.
Has the House Armed Services Committee requested logs, drones, surveillance, any other evidence to try to get to the bottom of this?
Yeah, Chairman Mike Rogers does a fabulous job. He's an absolute gold coin as far as being a patriot, and he's just a credit to our republic. So, yeah, we want to get to the truth, and we will. And we're working again with the administration. And I support what's going on, because there should be consequences for importing these kind of poisons into our country. I want to weaken the drug cartels, the most evil people in the world. And I don't care what country these drug cartels are from, Venezuela, Mexico, etc. And we need to protect Americans. And that's our duty, both, here and abroad.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, disputes the fact that we want to take out the drug cartels. The question is, I think, should Congress update the military's use of force? Should Congress have more of a say in this?
Oh, yeah, that leads to another question, which is just the legislative branch. We're an equal branch of government, and our really authority and power, frankly, has been eroding for decades. So I've always been a big proponent, not just because I'm in the legislature, because that's what the founders intended. So this goes back, and this did not start with President Trump in this term or his first term. It didn't start with Barack Obama or Ronald Reagan. It's been going on for a long time, and we do need to reassert our authority.
Before we let you go, the filing deadline for candidates to run is on Monday. There's a lot of talk that one of your colleagues from California, Darrell Issa, might move to Texas. How big of a deal would that be if he runs in Texas 32, which is from Dallas over to East Texas?
I think it's a great story, certainly for folks in the media. Just for the record, I did file. I think that's pending, and I think the party in Austin got my filing yesterday. Darrell Issa, I can tell you this. His life story is incredible. He's a self-made man. He's a veteran. He's been an incredibly effective legislator and leader, and conservative leader here in Washington. I have immense respect for him. If Gavin Newsom wants to play games and take 5 seats away and basically load, I think it's going to be 92% of the 52 seats in California will most likely be held by Democrats. That's obscene. That's absurd. And if Darrell wants to come to Texas, I think, you know what? California's loss is Texas's game.
Congressman, we appreciate the time as always.
Thank you. Take care and God bless.